Alright, sixth graders, here we are again. Best friends, me and you, doing our thing. We're out here doing our thing. My name, as many of you already know, is Seth Curlock. I am the student observer from West Virginia State University. I appreciate you guys and all you do for America. This will be my last lesson, so I hope you're prepared to learn, because you're going to learn today. A few things we're going to highlight. We're going to talk a little bit about the aftermath of the Great Depression and the reactions of the Great Depression, government reactions and social reactions as well. This guy behind me, Franklin Roosevelt, he's doing what's called a fireside chat. Very similar to what we're doing, just having a little talk. We're going to highlight a few things here. Should have a piece of paper, should have a pen. Hoovervilles, Bonus Army, New Deal, 100 Days, Fireside Chats, TVA, Eleanor Roosevelt, Social Security Act, and social reaction. If you were able to write all those down that fast, I'm impressed. Don't worry about writing those down just yet. Keep them in the back of your mind. We're going to watch a quick slideshow here in just a second. It's going to talk about all these things. Now, our handouts after the slideshow are directly related to the New Deal, and we will explain those right after the video. So, sit back, relax, enjoy learning, because, you know, history is how we learn, and it is what you make it. Let's go, sixth graders. Achieve greatness. Did you really think I was going to have a PowerPoint presentation? Alright, piece of paper and a pen. Get ready to write. Here we go. Starting off, key phrase, key term, Hoovervilles. President Hoover is in charge during the Great Depression. The American public doesn't feel like he's taking action. They get upset. All of these communities start to pop up all over the country. They were communities made out of cardboard boxes, wooden shacks, tin shacks. Well, the people thought it would be funny to call them Hoovervilles. And these neighborhoods would literally be called Hoovervilles. One instance, in Washington, D.C., in President Hoover's backyard, a group called a Bonus Army, which was a group of veterans who had went to war and were expecting to get their bonuses early, they set up a Hooverville right outside of President Hoover's backyard. And they're protesting, and they say they want to meet with President Hoover and they want their bonuses early. Well, President Hoover is having none of that. He doesn't even come out to say hello to them. Matter of fact, he hires, or I guess employs or deploys, a military unit to go out and drive them off the property. How does that make any sense? Anyway, that outrages the public even more than they already were outraged. So, Hoovervilles, Bonus Army, the Bonus Army set up Hoovervilles right outside of President Hoover's backyard. Now, that leads us right into the election and the new president. Hoover gets the boot, in comes Franklin Roosevelt. This guy. Franklin Roosevelt comes in, starts what's called the New Deal. And the New Deal goes hand in hand with the 100 Days. Now, both of these are key terms. If you're not writing, you're wrong. Now, New Deal comes in. Basically, he starts promoting all these different and new programs to boost the economy. Starts really getting involved with the community, starts really getting involved with the people. And this stretch of office at the beginning of his term was called the 100 Days. Congress and President Roosevelt began to boost and promote all of these new deals, all of these federal and state programs to help raise money to boost the economy. Now, so New Deal, 100 Days, that leads us into fireside chats. We talked about a fireside chat earlier, just sitting and having a talk. That's what President Roosevelt is doing right here. He's just sitting and having a talk. You see a little microphone, everybody's just listening. The entire country is tuned in to President Roosevelt and his fireside chat. Now, this boosted, I guess you could say this promoted his willingness to be a part of the American family. President Roosevelt decided that he was going to try to create an environment of hope for the people. And fireside chats was one way to do it. And he would just talk about anything and begin to gain the trust of the American people. That leads us into the Tennessee Valley Authority. It's one of the New Deals. It's one of the programs that they started. Basically, Tennessee River Valley. There's a big river through Tennessee and all that, and it's kind of through the South. There's a few other states involved, but basically they raised money to put dams and create hydropower along the Tennessee River. And so this created jobs for many years. I think it was 12 years that they worked on this project. However, it didn't really stimulate the economy because there was so much money used going into the program to build these hydropower plants and to employ all of these workers. But that was one of the big kind of programs, and that kind of sheds light on what they were trying to do as part of President Roosevelt's New Deal. Okay, that's going to segue us into Eleanor Roosevelt. Write this down. Eleanor Roosevelt, President Roosevelt's wife. She was kind of the backbone of the New Deal and the backbone of the president. When the president couldn't be somewhere or do something, she was always there. She was self-promoting and very involved in the community, very involved in the American people and society. So he could not have done it without Eleanor Roosevelt. One of the new programs as part of the New Deal was the Social Security Act. Now, this particular program, this particular act, had lasting effects on America, the economy, and taxes and employment, and the Social Security Act is still going on today. Now, we still pay taxes into that on your check. If you ever receive a check, I don't know if any of you sixth graders will ever get a job. I hope that you will. But that being said, you may not. And but if you ever do get a check, you'll see on there that you're paying into Social Security. Now, things that, some of that has changed a little bit, but the Social Security Act, as part of the New Deal, was one of the lasting programs that was started during that time. All right, so Hoovervilles, Bonus Army, New Deal, 100 Days, Fireside Chats, TVA, Eleanor Roosevelt, Social Security Act. All of those are key terms. All of those are something that we need to know. Now, social reaction. All right, so when you remember the Dust Bowl, we've all learned about the Dust Bowl. We all know that there was a drought, huge dust storms, like it displaced 2.5 million people. 2.5 million people were leaving that area, and it really hurt the economy. And it got to the point where people were selling personal items, personal goods. There was a story about a woman who had sold her tires from her vehicle just to feed her children. And, the reaction in society was a reaction of survival. Write that down. The New Deal, write this down, the New Deal did not bring America out of the Depression. However, it did give us hope, and it did kind of point us in the right direction. It did not bring us out of the Depression. And in Germany, remember we've been talking about Germany as well. Germany did not come out of the Depression with the use of their economy either. In Germany, Hitler came into power. And we will learn about that very, very soon. However, Hitler came into power, and World War II was on the verge of starting. Hitler starts to break sanctions that were put on him by this Treaty of Versailles, and through that, the German economy starts to kind of go up a little bit. But we'll get into all that. But the German economy kind of starts to go up as well. Social reaction in Germany, very similar. People were doing whatever they could to survive. Bread lines. There weren't a lot of jobs at that time. So, what brought America out of the Great Depression? Again, we will be getting into that very shortly. But America gets sucked into World War II, basically. And through World War II, America's economy starts to grow again. You have to buy weapons, you have to buy ammunition, you have to build and manufacture these things, and everyone is on board for war.